Hail, Uncle Remus. Hello world, it's Birdo Prey 5, Qapla, and welcome to another Deep Space 9 Wednesday. Yes, we're a couple hours early here. Apologies, but there are some severe storms headed through the New York area soon, I'm told, and better to stream now than later, while there will be lots of lightning and heavy wind. So yes, you've got me. You've got me a little early. Uncle Remus was first and said, "Hail Bop 5, hail Uncle Remus." Dan 23 was second and knew it and said hello. Bradley Briggs was 3 and says, "Zup Zol, zup y'all." Thomas Potts says the Marquis aren't terrorists; they have no single leader. Yes, Thomas, I see what you did there. Dan 23 says he is doing the live review a little earlier. Yes, Dan, we have some bad weather coming through. Mike Richards says, "What in the wide world of sports is going on here?" I am sorry. Yes, a couple hours earlier than usual. Not Ryan Johnson says hello and Qapla. And Dan 23 heard thunder this morning. Yeah, it's coming. Anti-Trigger says, "Bird of Prey, do me a favor. I'll keep working on my video since you started, but send me a text when you are wrapping up." Absolutely, Anti-Trekker. Anti-Trekker and I had a little conversation before we started to see who was going to go first. Rock Solid wants Dear Bop. Not today, Rock Solid. Orville Nation says, "Hey, Bird, Qapla, Qapla, Orville Nation. Good to see you, PJ. Indy Tiger says, "Hi, all. Some numbers are higher than number 1. Yes, it's okay. You are here higher than number 1. Not Ryan Johnson's hashtag no Dear Bop. No Dear Bop, you son of a bitch. I'm going to do some Dear Bop right now. Oh, I see. You were trying to use reverse psychology. Very clever. It's not going to work on me, though, not Ryan Johnson. Rock Solid Productions is Bird of Prey. Thank you for mentioning that Tubi had What We Left Behind for streaming. Seeing Aaron Eisenberg tear up in parts definitely hit me in the feels. Yeah. Aaron Eisenberg, even before he passed away, was an amazing part of that documentary. And now that he has passed, and of course Renee Aubuchon passed, it gives the documentary a whole different meaning. It's now almost a what's that called? Not a tribute, something to do it at a funeral. No, none of them more. Eulogy. Almost like a eulogy to them. And Anti-Tracker is doing hashtag Why Dear Bop. Josh reads, "So, Bird of Prey, you're going to have to change your name to Twister." Oh, Prey 5. No. No, that's not going to happen. Not going to happen. Rock Solid says, "Not Ryan Johnson. There's a good one in there, I promise." Well, we're not doing the Dear Bops today. Mountains of Elysium says, greetings, Bird of Prey, Prey, fellow nerds. Chrono says, Qapla world. Aroo! And my apologies to Cinnabon if he is here. I saw he had just started streaming. And he was asking if anybody wanted to play Risk. And yeah, I did want to play Risk, Cinnabon. But duty calls. I couldn't skip Dear Bop for Risk. Not Dear Bop, Jesus. I couldn't skip DS9 Wednesday for Risk. Today's episode, by the way, is Season 3, Episode 9, Defiant, which, yes, has the Defiant in it, but it's the episode where William Riker returns to the station. Or does he? But yes, William T. Riker. William T. Riker. Or is it T. William Riker? Some Riker returns to the station. Jonathan Frakes is in this episode, and it's a memorable one. And I was they got me with this episode. The first time I saw it, I was not thinking it was going to go the way it did. Not Ryan Johnson says, the rock solid, if you were involved, it has to be good. Kronos says, nerds. Hey, nerds. Josh Street says, Dear Bop, no more. Rock Solid says, who, Dear Bop? I don't know what's going on here. What, Dear Bop, says Josh Street. Wow, I missed a few. Anti-Tracker says, F, Dear Bop. Wow, I told you to be working on your video, not making Dear Bop comments. In memorandum. I meant eulogy, but thank you, Rock Solid. Mountains of Elysium says, in greetings to Sassy, chaser of Endorians, eater of Packlid, stalker of Klingons, defiler of Vulcans, cloaking from Lori, and the scourge of Cardassia. Awoo! Awesome, yes, cloaking from Lori. That Sassy activated her cloaking device. Kronos says, Bird of Prey, wow, you have fans today. I guess I have fans or people who just want to listen, see, hear me, lend me your ears. Friends, country, Roman, what? Friends, countrymen, Romans, friends, countrymen, lend me your ears. Kronos is Bird of Prey, teehee, you said doodle. Uncle Remus is good episode, I think so. John Street says Thomas Riker is the transporter clone. Yes. Spoiler, he is. He's the transporter clone. Kronos is Bird of Prey. It's a fake, Frank. It's a fake, Frank. It's a fake. Dan23 says the problem with the game Twister is that you need people to play and someone to spin the disc. But you can try to do it without someone to just spin the disc. You could just have a computer programmed out to yell random numbers and colors, or was it colors? Oh, it's body parts and colors, right? Like left foot yellow, something like that. So you can have a computer just yell out random colors and body parts. That's sure to be fun. I don't even know if Twister is allowed anymore. Twister is just like Me Too in a box. Me Too in a box. Dan23, I just read that. 47 Yorktown says, hello, young sir. Hello, 47 Yorktown. Cinnabon says, sorry, I didn't think you'd start so early. You don't have to be sorry, Cinnabon. I'm sorry. I wanted to play Risk. You could have kept playing. I hope you are. Orville Nation says, Rick Berman just tweeted today, was 33 years ago. They started filming TNG. Oh, wow. Crow says, awoo. LDG says, sorry, I'm late. Hey, Alberto Prey 5, you don't have to be sorry you were late. LDG, were you still streaming? I assume the Flat Earth stream ended. Mountains of Elysium says, I can't stay. Going for a walk with my wife, but I wanted to drop by and give the stream a like. Thank you. And that's very nice. You're going for a walk with your wife. Rock Solid says, Bird of Prey stream 5 minutes old already, 45 minutes behind in chat. Dan23 says, Bird of Prey, if you could be any type of Starfleet officer, what would it be? Captain. I'd be captain of a ship. Be captain of the biggest, baddest, worst, biggest, like, most powerful ship there ever was. Kronos is not Doodle. I type Doodle, says. Oh, duty? Oh, I said duty. Duty. I didn't say that duty. I said duty. D-U-T-Y. Indie Tigers has just saw a Quantum Leap episode that Scott Bakula leaps into a Navy ensign that's accused of murdering Commander Riker's wife. Also had Terry Farrell in the episode. Awesome. Thomas Potts says vote Crystal Skull. Okay, here's the thing. Nobody needs to vote for Crystal Skull anymore. I mean, you can if you want to, but Admiral Saval gave a very generous super chat yesterday, with the one request being that I do Kingdom of the Crystal Skull this coming Saturday. This coming Saturday. So, this coming Saturday is already scheduled to be Idiocracy, co-hosted by Ciso Prey, assuming we're still talking by then. So, we're going to do Idiocracy first. I will then end the Idiocracy stream and immediately after start up a Kingdom of the Crystal Skull stream. And then I will do Kingdom of the Crystal Skull this Saturday as well. Idiocracy is a relatively short movie at 2 hours and 20 minutes. Kingdom of the Crystal Skull is just under 2 hours without the credits. So it's going to be a long couple of streams, but it's doable. Listen, Admiral Saval donated heavily to this, so I thank him. It wasn't necessary. I would have accepted the results of the election, but he wanted it done a week early. So we're going to be doing it this week. This Saturday, we're doing both Idiocracy and Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Therefore, the vote, which is still going on for the following Saturday, I'm going to ignore any votes for Crystal Skull and just go with whatever comes in next highest, which at this moment is Galaxy Quest. Now, if you've already voted for next week, you can go back and change your vote. YouTube will let you change your vote. You just go back to the post, go to the community section of my YouTube channel, birdoprey5.com/YouTube. Click on the community section, and you can go to the poll and change your vote. Or you can keep your vote the same, and if you voted for Kingdom of Crystal Skull, it's just going to be ignored. So whoever gets the second most votes, or if somebody beats Kingdom of Crystal Skull, that's going to be the movie for not this Saturday, but next Saturday. Not a big deal. You don't have to worry about it. If you already voted, you don't have to go back, but you can if you want to. That's how it is. That's how it's going to be. Also, as always, for today's episode, you can watch it on Netflix, on Amazon Prime, on Hulu, on I think there was some more. Oh, CBS All Access, and any of the places that have any of the Star Trek. They all have all the Star Trek episodes. There's a Star Trek Deep Space Nine Season 3, Episode 9, Defiant. If you don't want to do that, you can go to the Bird O' Prey 5 screening room, which you go to birdoprey5.com, and you can get the link at the bottom to the Bird O' Prey 5 screening room, which I still was the one thing I forgot to set up. Let me do that now, and I will get it set up. And if you can't go to the screening room, then you can always watch in the bottom right corner. There will be screenshots of the episode so you can follow along. Yes, www.birdoprey5.com. No, not 6. birdoprey5.com. There we go. Q next. Good. Good. Okay. No, pause, son of a bitch. Okay. There we go. So if you're in the Bird of Prey 5 screening room, awesome. We'll get to that in a little bit. A little bit. Where are we? Where are we? 54.5 Access Radio says hashtag rip DJ Odyssey. No, DJ Odyssey texted me. The entire internet in his town is down. They were estimating 4 hours repair time. That was about 40 minutes ago. So we could be 3 or 4 hours before DJ Odyssey is back online. And if you still have his stream up, unfortunately, nothing will ever show up on that stream again until he gets back there to turn it off. Because everybody ended up leaving his stream. No one can add people back to the stream except DJ Odyssey, who can't access the stream. Josh reaches Bird of Prey. The Thomas clone is in the chat. I wouldn't be surprised. Not Ryan Johnson says, listen to Thomas Bots and vote Crystal Skull. Nobody has to vote for the Crystal Skull. And Kronos is asserting that I indeed said duty, the duty that he wrote. Bradley Briggs says, so you want the captain of the Enterprise J? Haha, it's big and no, F the Enterprise J. That is not a real Enterprise to me. Kronos says, wow, he must be rich. Dan23 says, Stargate History 1 had an episode about the Crystal Skull. Kronos says, Bird of Prey, don't forget live chat. I'm in top chat. Son of a bitch. I could have sworn I was in live chat. Anyway. Where were we? Kronos says the Dan23, that was a good episode. And Dan, he liked it. Uncle Remus says, wow, this voting is complicated. It's not complicated. If you voted, you don't have to re-vote. If you did vote, you can change your vote. If you voted for Crystal Skull, you can change your vote. Or you can just leave it. It's not the end of the world. Kronos says the grandpa that was Amish from a movie was good. I have no idea what we're talking about. Dan Dwight says, Bird of Prey, do you like the idea of quantum torpedoes? I like the idea that they were more powerful torpedoes. Calling them quantum torpedoes, I'm not really sure that means anything. But yeah, I liked them. The first time I heard, yes, fire quantum torpedoes, I was all about the quantum torpedoes. I'm not going to pretend I wasn't. I wasn't thinking at the fact that quantum really means really small. I assumed the explosion was just generated in like quantum space or something, and it just exploded into, macro space. Kronos is son of a bitch. Mike Richards is Admiral Saval must have hit the lottery. Kronos says, or used my taxpayers' money. Mike Richards is confirmed Bird is sabotaging other YouTubers. I'm not sabotaging anyone. I'm not looting, Uncle Remus. Looting is bad. Don't loot. However, if you have yourself extra Lego sets, please contact me. Kronos is Bird of Prey. You have Anti-Tracker's great reading skills. Probably. Kronos is Anti-Tracker. I only said that in case I'm a jerk. Cause I'm a jerk. Kronos is Bird of Prey. The Amish movie is with Harrison Ford. We saw it? I don't remember it. Not Ryan Johnson says, Bird is sabotaging YouTubers again. Boy, he really takes cheating to new levels. Great. Everybody is attacking. Okay. What do I got? A Twitter message. Facebook message? Twitter message? I don't know. I'm just saying, guys, get ready. We're gonna hit play soon. Message. Okay. Had to answer a vital question from Piano Dean. So we're all good now. We're all good now. Kronos says Soft Putty is here. Oh, Soft Putty is rock solid here though. Is rock solid here. He is. Rock Solid and Soft Putty are both here. Guys, I want you to sit down and work this out. I'm going to be watching an episode though, so don't tell me about it. Don't ask for my input unless it's an emergency. So, okay. We'll bring up there we go. We'll bring up that screen. We're going to head, and guys, I know I'm starting earlier than usual, but again, I want to try to get this over before the severe storms come through. So that's why we're getting a quick start on it. Live with Matthew says Qapla, Bird of Prey, early review today. Yes, severe weather. Chrono says you can't be in two places at the same time, Bird of Prey. That is true. And Chrono says, hey, life. No, it's bed life. That's what all the people say. Yes. Bed life. It's going to be awesome. Yes, there's a storm a-coming, Kronos. It probably already passed you. Or maybe it's there now. Dan23 says the thumbnail for live says the episode title is Meridian. Son of a bitch. I forgot to update the title. Okay, let me do that first. Son of a bitch. I knew, my fault. I told YouTube to reuse the last week's, and I forgot to update the thumbnail. I had the thumbnail. I made the thumbnail. The thumbnail was sitting on my hard drive, but it's like it wasn't smart enough to know that, hey, I want it to be called Defiant, even though I changed the title and the tags and everything to Defiant. So there we go. That's been updated. So it might take a few minutes, but anywhere that says Meridian, it should update it to the Defiant. Thank you. Thank you very much. Live with Matters is Bird of Prey. I'm not complaining. Early stream, I get to see the whole thing live. Very cool. Kronos is Bird of Prey. I was talking about life with Matthew. Sure you were. A son of a bitch, says Kronos. Indie Tiger says, ironically, Bird wants to spread Legos on his floors in order to discourage looters in his house. And Algorithm says, get Doc Brown to hook up a lightning rod to your bed for 1.21 gigawatt lightning strike to go back to the future. You know, Mama Prey and I were talking about time travel just earlier today, because last night I fell asleep to a fake documentary on Amazon Prime called The History of Time Travel. And it was, I fell asleep very quickly, but it was this whole documentary made to talk about how humans invented time travel and what the ramifications of it were. But I didn't get very far in before I was out. Kronos is Bird of Prey. Yes, sure it was. That's how you believe in what you do. Larry Matthews is the Indie Tiger. Stopped by your nephew's brewery, but wasn't able to get anything. The food section was closed. COVID. Son of a bitch. Okay. Let's get ready to, not rumble. Let's get ready to watch. Again, this is Season 3, Episode 9, Defiant. If you're in the, I have to turn off the computer sound. Otherwise, you guys would hear it. Okay, if you are in the Bird of Prey screening room at birdofprey5.com, scroll down to BOP5 screening room, leave your YouTube tab open. That you'll be all set. Otherwise, if you have your own copy, just keep it ready to hit play. And if you can't do either, you can watch in the bottom right corner of the screen some screenshots Countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. And we got Dax. Dax is talking to Kira about some transports coming in. And Kira's like, we're already pushing storage capacity. Oh, and some other people want to move their conference up by a week. Kira is overworked. She hasn't read through last night's reports. She's like, is there anything else she needs to know? And yes. Oh, Starfleet wants a big report on the computer calibration subroutine. They want it tomorrow. And Kira's at her breaking point. She can't take this. Mike Richards says, Bird Lexia, son of a bitch. Kronos says, Bird of Prey, you have a serious reading problem. Reading issue. It's Bird Lexia. So now Bashir needs a whole bunch of medical supplies. He wants a runabout. And Kira says, listen to me. You can't have a runabout. You can't have your supplies. And she doesn't give a damn about the colony. And Bashir's just, stop right there, Major. He's going to pull rank. When was your last day off? She has no idea. He says, if you can't remember, it's been too long. You're off duty as of this moment. What do you mean I'm off duty? You can't do that. He says, yes, I can. And not even Commander Sisko can overrule his judgment as chief medical officer. She's like, wait a minute, Julian. Just because I snapped. His diagnosis is you're overworked, suffering from extreme stress and borderline exhaustion. His prescription. Follow him. What? Follow him back to his quarters? You're a pervert. He's going to get me too. Oh, it's Quark's bar. That's exactly what where she wanted to be. A holosuite program. Just a couple of weeks ago, they were trying to get her into a holosuite, and she wouldn't go. Bashir says if he doesn't hear that she didn't completely relax and enjoy herself tonight, they'll do this every night until he gets the report that she has relaxed. She's kind of smiling now. She realizes there are worse things. Oh no, there's a familiar voice. It's Commander Riker. He says he hopes she has room for the unexpected. Because Commander Riker never particularly showed any interest in Kira, but apparently now he is. Dun 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 dun. Is Yosef even here? Dun 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 dun. If Yosef's not here, there's really no point in humming. I think he's playing Risk with Cinnabon. Dun 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 dun. Da, 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 da. Okay, I'm not humming. We're gonna talk about this episode. I don't know. I think it would have made more sense if Will was into Dax instead of Kira. I really had a hard time believing that William Riker had a thing for Kira. It didn't make sense. The man can get a lot of women. Like, why Kira? Just because the plot demands it. It wasn't believable. And yeah, Kronos says Kira's pissed as usual. Kronos says a fake Riker will solve the problem. Do 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 do. Do do do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Okay. Even Cisco says, welcome aboard, Commander. Call him Will. Strictly pleasure. He has 3 months of leave, and Dr. Crusher insisted he take some. Yeah, he's like, Deep Space Nine's not a vacation spot. Oh. He's just passing through on his way to Risa. Because I'm sure DS9 is near Risa, right? No, that makes no sense. Oh. Oh, one of his Dabo girls is dating his son. He also said that one of Quark's Dabo wheels have been a little stingy lately, which means that Cisco knows Quark is cheating. So Jadzia asks who's in with Benjamin, and she's like, it's Will Riker from the Enterprise. And Jadzia's all happy now. She's like, I met him last year. And she's like, oh, you met him last night? And he's like, and we talked. And then we talked some more. For 3 hours. Jadzia thought she meant something else. Oh, she's involved with somebody, Kira says. So why do you keep glancing at Cisco's office? You have the time. You have an open invitation for dinner for him and Jake. Oh, and he doesn't know who Dax is. He says most of that night is still a blur. He's faking his way through it. And Kronos says doing isn't humming, by the way. Yeah, girl talk. Kronos says my show is synced nicely. Awesome, Kronos. Oh, they literally ran into each other. How does that happen? He wasn't paying attention to where he was going. Why didn't you just say you were going to the shrine to go pray to the Bajorian god? Say you converted. She was just about to call it a night. It's good night. This is good night. Now she says, Commander, would you like a tour of the station? I'd love one. Let's start at your bedroom. We can walk along the promenade. Oh, he wants to see the Defiant. Yeah, she can arrange a tour of the Defiant. Kronos' Bird of Prey, spoiler alert, it's a fake beat. They have to identify for access to the Defiant. Never again will every passenger have to identify themselves to get on board the Defiant. Somebody just opens the door and everybody walks in. That security guard there is looking funny. Like, why is that guy got an Enterprise uniform? Oh, O'Brien's there. And he hits his head on the he was getting a little extra work done. And he's surprised it's Commander Riker. Uh-oh. There's nothing to say to you, O'Brien. I think you know why. And Kira says maybe we should come back another time. And O'Brien's like, no, I was just leaving. He says, Commander. Clearly, Kira's like, what's that about? And Riker says it's a long story, doesn't want to get into it. And at this point, O'Brien should be very, very confused. And he is. But he should be saying something to somebody. And he should have also just said to Riker, he's like, I don't know what the F you're talking about. We left on perfect terms. Well, what's your problem? Did you think you impregnated my wife? You didn't. I had the DNA test done. It's my baby. Like seriously, why did you let him get away with that? Oh, command authorization. Ah, she released the bridge lockout. He now has full control of the vessel. And now he shoots her with a phaser that he didn't have 5 minutes ago. There is nowhere on his uniform to hide a phaser. Also, I guess the sensors don't record the phaser fire. They don't record that people beamed into the Defiant. The warp core on the Defiant is about to breach in 57 seconds. Incoming signal from Defiant. It's Riker. Commander Sisko has been an accident. The plasma conduit exploded. Kira's injured. We're 45 seconds from a warp core breach. Release the docking clamps. I'll get us away from the station. This will beam the two of you out of there as soon as we're clear. You could beam Kira out now, I'm just saying, so that you only have to beam one person out in 40 more seconds. And O'Brien comes running up. Says, beam him away, Chief. He can't get it locked. The shields are up. Can't you beam through the shields, Chief? And they warped away. You know, Commander, now that I think about it, there was something a little funny about that guy. Kronos is bird of prey. Who impregnated who again? I'm just saying maybe Keiko and Riker had a little tryst, and they weren't sure whose baby it was. Oh, and the fake beard comes off because it would have been too difficult to grow a real beard for this mission. Might as well just put on a fake beard that could have fallen off at any time. Keiko. So it was only 2 years ago since they discovered the fake Riker, Thomas Riker. They're physically identical in all respects, including their DNA. No way for the computer to know it was Thomas, not Will. Maybe since they know that this is the same person, the same DNA, they would ask an extra question. Thomas Riker is a member of the Maquis. Why would he be a member of the Maquis? He was serving aboard the starship Gandhi. He expressed political opinions that supported the Maquis and their goals. One of the most heavily armed warships in the quadrant is in the hands of the Maquis? Maquis terrorists? Kronos says anything is possible in the future. It says, do you have any idea what kind of responses are provoked from the Central Command? So, Sisko says they're going to want to send ships into the DMZ. They're okay, but it's got to be a joint operation. He says that Central Command isn't going to want a joint security. They're not going to believe what he said about security fields, that it is an accident. They're going to say they wanted the Maquis to have the Defiant, and they'll respond accordingly. And Ordo's like, what does that mean? They'll seize this opportunity to finally eliminate the Maquis. They'll send a fleet into that zone. Kronos' Gul Dukat is a jerk. IMO. Mike Richards' Because plot. And John Araki with a $1 super chat. Thank you so much, John Araki. 2 fleets will meet, tensions will rise, nerves will fray, and someone will make the tiniest mistake. And it'll be a war. Red alert. No one wants war. I know what IMO means, Kronos. So Ducat says he needs something to bring back to Central Demand to prove their good faith. And Cisco says, bring me with him. He helped design the thing. He knows her vulnerabilities and her weaknesses. So Ducat's like, you'll help us destroy one of our own ships. And Cisco's like, well, I'd prefer we try to disable it first. Ducat says, but you're in no position to bargain. You want to prevent a war, you come back. Mike Richards loves joint operations. And Kronos says, is that a pot joke? I suspect it is. Kira doesn't care who he is or what his name is. He's sorry about using her. It was an operational necessity. You know things, you do things you're not proud of to accomplish the mission. She's like, well, now what? Everyone's looking for you. He says he's going to get a lot farther than people think. Anticipate. Aravik Sonder, Qapla with a $2 super chat. Just found the screening room. Awesome. I'm sorry it took so long. The problem is you can't put that link into YouTube because YouTube will delete it immediately. YouTube does not like that site. Otherwise, I would have put the link into YouTube. Now they're on Cardassia. He's about to help the enemy hunt down one of their ships. This is where he'll be conducting the search. The Defiant. He can control every Cardassian ship, outpost, and space station. Anywhere. And there's a observer from the Obsidian Order. Is her name Coitus? I think he said her name was Coitus. She says, secure that console from the human. Anything classified level 4 or above also needs to be secured. She apologizes, but she understands. Though they respect his decision to bring him there, they have to take some precautions. He said, of course, he would have done the same, but he would have been more discreet. She wants to be briefed on the ship's defensive capabilities. Describe the weapon systems. He says, before we discuss weapon, there's something you need to know. The Defiant is equipped with a cloaking device. She wondered if he was going to share that. The Obsidian Order knew about it. Yes. The Order chose not to share that intelligence with the Central Command. Until now, that one cloak was not a threat against Cardassia. Under terms of agreement, it could only be used in the Gamma Quadrant, and then only in exchange for intelligence. Yeah, Lieutenant Riker isn't likely to expect the agreement. There is a way, maybe, to locate a ship under cloak. Kronos is, so what's the coloring on the spoons of female Cardassians? I don't know. It looks like a little bluish green. I never noticed. Makeup? Maybe it is Kronos. Maybe it's their version of eyeliner. Spoon liner. Like, anybody just knows how to use a cloaking device? I mean, shouldn't there be some, like, I don't know, learning curve to using a cloak? Dr. Alex! Qapla, Dr. Alex! Perimeter alert in the Almatha system. And he identified the vessel as the Defiant. He's ordering all warships to converge, and Cisco's like, nah, there's something wrong here. Why wouldn't they be cloaked? Show him the sensor information. That's not the Defiant. And he has permission to pursue. No, don't! Don't pull your ships off the border. This is, you don't expect him to break off pursuit. That's not the Defiant, it's a decoy. They're drawing your patrol ships out of position. It's a fake warp signature. Order Torin to break off pursuit. Redeploy. Another perimeter alert. Outpost 47. They detected a cloaked ship with their anti-propon beam. It's the Defiant as the cloaked and begun to attack. One shot and the entire outpost is gone. They've recloaked in their last known heading. Set it directly into the heart of Cardassian territory. The Obsidian Order lady says that Cisco should be commended for his tactical instincts. She wishes they had somebody as good as him. Could have prevented this. Kronos' spoon liner. Yes, folks, you heard it first. You heard it here first. Adjust the cloak's frequency so he can't be detected again. If it was that simple, why didn't they do this before? Uh-oh, they lost main power. Cloak's offline. 2 plasma conduits blew out. Deck 3, Section 15. Crew quarters. You should have put her in the brig, right? That's what you have brigs for. So that they can't do this type of thing. He'll have it bypass in 30 minutes. Luckily, he took him into a nebula. No one's going to see him. He's lucky that she only got singed. The entire thing relay could have exploded. She says that was the point. He's like, you used to fight the Cardassians. It's like, I fought the Cardassians because they came to my home. What are you doing here? You don't live in the DMZ. You don't have family there. It's like, they're going to kill more people than they ever did during the border raids. He's going to take her to the bridge again and not the brig. Mistake number 2. Kronos says Kira is spunky. What are the possibilities? They're still in cloak. They're headed to Cardassian space. They're waiting, laying low. Ducat's not listening. He was just thinking about his son's birthday. Aw, what a good father he is. Today's his 11th birthday. He promised to take him to the amusement center in some city. He always wanted to go, but he never had the time. Cronus' spoiler alert, the Marquis get wiped out. Yeah, but not in this series. He says, this year I will make the time, son. We're definitely going to go. But he's a liar again. And a bad father. Cisco said he had the same problem with Jake. But at that age, they just don't understand. You hope that one day they grow up, they will understand. And Ducat's like, his son's never going to understand. When he grows up and looks back at this day, he's only going to remember that a Federation officer on a Federation ship invaded his home and kept his father away from him on his 11th birthday. Well, that kid's a jerk. Okay, he's not going to look back with hatred. He doesn't give a shit. You already missed so many birthdays and frickin' probably every other day of the year. And they don't even know it, but you've got a love child from a Bajoran that's running around out there. Nobody's going to give a shit, Gul Dukat. No one's going to care. They fixed the cloak. Kronos says actually they get wiped out from the sound. Actually, they don't get wiped out. Some of the Marquis survive in Voyager and get home. Well, yeah, but not enough to make a difference. So Kira is surprised at the decision to attack this target. Says there's at least a dozen better targets in this sector alone. He's like, exactly. The Maquis have been hearing rumors about shifting loyalties. Hardline elements were less than satisfied with the Federation Treaty. They got their hands on intelligence report. A suspected buildup in the Orion sector. He says not even Central Command's aware of it. Yeah, they're doing all this to attack a secret base. Emergency alert from my Citizen app. Additional charges in the death of George Floyd. All 4 officers are now charged in the death. The white guy, the Asian guy, the Middle Eastern looking guy, and another white guy. So he's like, why aren't you attacking every Cardassian outpost along the border? And Kira says the only thing terrorists care about is attacking the enemy. She was a terrorist. And if she had the ship, they would have destroyed Deep Space Nine. They would have hit the Cardassians so hard they would have screamed for peace. But she wouldn't have gone on some goose chase through the middle of Cardassia. And he says, maybe we're different kind of terrorists. She's like, no, you're a hero, and terrorists don't get to be heroes. You hear that? To all the terrorist people that you look at like heroes. Don't you see what happened? Each Defiant attack was to pull them all away from this sector. And Dukat says there's nothing of any value in that sector. And Cisco says there's got to be something. He says there is an M-class planet, but it's uninhabited. He says everything points to the Raya system. You should send one warship there just in case. So Dukat says, all right. Dispatch, and the Obsidian Order says, hold that. You won't send any ships to the Orion system. He says, you're here an observer. You have no authority. She says, nope. That is under the direct control of the Obsidian Order. It's classified. Dukat says, you can file a complaint with the Central Command later. And she says, any warship heading to the Orion system will be destroyed. So Dukat saying, are you going to fire another Cardassian ship? She's saying that they'll take any steps needed to protect the system. And so will she. Wow. 14, Bar versus DS9 got good at Season 4. Disagree. DS9 was good from Season 1. It got better in Season 4. I'll agree with that. 4, 5, and 6 were great seasons. The best of the best. The Tupaka console? What the hell? Why is Cardassian government so complicated? It's worked for over 5 centuries, says. That doesn't jive with what we heard in Chain of Command on TNG. Dan23 says the Maquis, most of them got wiped out, but some Federation, some are Federation prisoners or Voyager. Chronos says to 14, what made you like Season 4 more? Worf's introduction, of course. Oh, that's a big deal. That does definitely help. Nine! There are 9 whatever ships close by. They're called their 9 friends. Riker says they can chase him all he wants, but as long as they don't catch him. It's moving at warp speed directly to the Orion system. Orion system. 14 says, Kronos, I know. Kronos says, damn nerds, you are all awesome. 14 says, Bird of Prey, that's actually what I meant. And Kronos says, Bird of Prey, I have an issue with the Cardassian justice system. Well, you know what? It's efficient. So this chick says they're never going to reach Arias. Cardassian warships are coming out. Kelvin class. Whose ships are those? He says if they were military ships, he'd know about them. So that leaves the Obsidian Order. And Cisco says, I thought the Obsidian Order didn't have ships. And Dukat says they're not supposed to. In fact, they're explicitly prevented from having military equipment of any kind. Well, clearly this isn't military equipment then. These are gardening ships. They're gardening vessels. And those aren't tractor beams and those aren't phaser shots. They're for tilling the soil. If they slow down, then the 10 ships behind them are going to catch up. And they're not going to, So she's like, we've got to make a run for it. This isn't going to work. There's not enough time. He says, that's what an experienced person would say. But he's got to try. He says he's looking for a way to get himself out from under his clone shadow, from Will Riker's shadow. He wants to set himself apart. So, Cisco says, you want to know what's going on in the Orion system? Give them a chance to surrender. The Defiant scanned the Araya system. He'd be happy to give over those details. So he says if they agree to give the Cisco and Kira back to the Defiant and let them leave, let them take it back to Deep Space Nine. And Ducat's like, I've got to have somebody held responsible. He'll return the ship, but someone has to pay for this. If it's not going to be him. He's like, if you return it, the Maquis will stay in trial for what they've done. Cisco's like, it's the best I can do, take it or leave it. And Ducat says, okay, how about this? I'll hand over Major Kira, the Maquis, and the ship, but Riker, he leads the mission. He wants to keep him. He says that might be enough for Central Command. I think it is. Kronos says Riker learns how to make pizza and burns it. The sentence needs to be something other than death. He drives a hard bargain. Cisco says, you better make it quick. Hopefully they can, I don't even know what I was going to say. Angarimus says maybe it was Thomas Riker on Picard. Maybe Thomas Riker lives on the planet. Maybe Thomas Riker lives on the planet, and it's Will Riker who's up still acting captain. So you get some nice scenes of combat with the Defiant. Five ships ahead and 10 behind. Incoming message from Cardassia Prime. Skull Ducat and Commander Cisco. So Skull Ducat is saying if you surrender your ship, no one will be harmed. And Cisco says, yeah, that's right. Listen to him. If you surrender, the Defiant crew will be handed over to a Federation starship. So Tom's like, what's with the generosity? He says he wants the sensor logs, and Riker says the Cardassians aren't going to let us walk away. And Cisco says, you're right. One of you got to stay. He correctly guesses himself. He will be settled to spend the rest of his life in a labor camp. He realizes that the fact that there's no death sentence took some doing. So he's speaking it over with the crowd. Kira is telling them, giving him a way out. Says, take it, you don't want to die. There are 5 ships ahead. There could be 50 waiting. Think of your crew. Kronos' bird of prey, Cardassian ships look ugly in his opinion. And Bird of Prey, spoiler alert, we never hear from the fake Frakes again. That is true. Surrender to one of the ships that's following it. It'll take too long to explain. But the ships coming out of the system are not under Gul Dukat's control. So he's going to put his shields up once he gets to the next Cardassian ship. What are you complaining about, lady? You got off easy. You don't have to go to a Cardassian labor camp or get killed. Uh-oh, Dukat says he's never seen ships that fast. For T.M. Barber says, I wonder if Riker said, I'll wear your uniform in generations to Cisco. Gul Dukat says they would never fire another Cardassian ship. They can't. So they're transporting the Orion, the sensor logs to the Craxton, and he's going to walk over. And he's making her specifically responsible that these people get a fair trial. It's a really shitty thing to put someone in. For one, what if she had her own job lined up? And two, it's a lot of work figuring out how much room somebody needs. I think I was sleep talking again. What did that have to do with a TV stand? I don't know what was going on. Life with Matthew says, whoa there, buddy. Ask first. Uh-oh. Algorithm says Thomas Riker gets marooned on City Alpha 9 and returns for revenge of this new season of Picard. That would be fine. That would be fine. Da, 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 da. Dan23 says Thomas Riker was in 8 more stories, novels, comics, and short stories. Well, that's very nice. I mean, he's certainly a character we should have revisited at least once or twice in TNG. I'm glad we did get to revisit him here in DS9, though, to be honest, he was kind of wasted. I mean, he could have become like Eddington. He could have become like Eddington, like a multi-episode, multi-season villain that, the crew keeps running into. They're like, damn it, they got away again, because they just don't want to go after him because he's just so Federation. Chrono says, this is City Alpha 9. This is City Alpha 9. City Alpha Ocho exploded. It took its place. You should have known that when you came into the system. An F in the chat for Tom Riker. I don't think that's necessary. Number one sci-fi Qapla says, where is Deep Space 5? I have no idea. Not the slightest clue. It's probably on that big map if you look close enough. It should be right outside, huh? Deep Space 5. Like to go with Birdo Prey 5. I dig it. Sassy, you want to live on a space station? I don't think she does. You wouldn't be able to sleep. Not like that anyway. You would just be floating through the air. Oh. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for coming. I know it was a relatively short stream, but squirrels. Well, Sassy doesn't mind me saying the word. I know other people have dogs that get upset by the word. I know it was a short stream, but we got it done before the storms. I will be around a little later. I know Anti-Trekker is going to stream. Other people are going to stream if they're not streaming already. So, no, we're never going to get that City Alpha 5 TV per show. It was such a stupid premise. So there's no way it's ever happening. But I'm going to go. I'll talk to you guys later. And tomorrow is Thursday. I don't have any specific plans. But yeah, we're getting ready for Sad Days double feature. So stay ready for that. And of course, Friday will be Bed Life. Qapla all. Thank you all for watching my video. Please remember to comment, like, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit that bell icon. Without it, you won't get notifications of new videos. Check out BirdoPrey5.com, the new home of everything Birdo Prey 5 on the web. You can also check out my forum at juot.net. I'm also on social media, on Facebook, Twitter, and Gab. If you'd like to make a donation, check out paypal.me/BirdoPrey5 or on BirdoPrey5.com. Take care.